Clinical researchers, welcome back to the Clinical Trials Guru. It's a very special, quick video. I've got my dad, who got me started in clinical research back in 2005, actually earlier than 2005. We did our first studies in 99 or 2000.
Yes. Yeah.
When you just learned about research. You're a psychiatrist.
Yes.
You've retired from research for a long time now.
Yes.
Private research. But now you're doing, and we're going to start working together again, doing academic research now.
Correct.
More on the science side. So later in the videos, you're going to see tours of the lab. We're part of an incubator. So I think you're an advisor, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, I'll be the scientific advisor, because a lot of things between neuroscience and oncology, there are a lot of things in common. In fact, in neuroscience, we are learning a lot from the oncologists. For example, microRNAs, epigenetic studies, methylation, and so forth. We are learning from oncology. For example, in Alzheimer's disease, many precipitating factors in Alzheimer's disease are similar with those in cancer.
Now, when you started in research and when you got me started, because initially I wanted to be a CRA and then I wanted to go to med school, but then I just took over the company that you started. How did you get started in private research?
I started when my professor from University of Southern California approached me and asked me if I wanted to collaborate with him and do some studies in bipolar disorder. At that time, my first study was in bipolar disorder, and I started doing that, and eventually I liked it, and I saw that it can lead to new advances. And,
but you didn't like the business side of it.
I did not like the business side, no.
Why? Because you were too busy with the other stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to do both parts.
Private practice and the research?
Private practice, the research, and the business part, it's impossible.
So other doctors that are watching now that are considering to do research, what do you advise that they do? They try to do it on their own, or?
I would advise them to go with somebody, because if you can only do as many things properly. If you spread yourself too thin, then you are going to not be able to do anything right.
And now that you're doing, so you retired from private research because you prefer academic research.
Yes.
What's the main differences? Because some people don't even know the difference.
Right. The difference is that in academic research you come up with the idea. For example,
which is what we're going to do with this exosome stuff, right?
For example, you look at the neurotransmitters, the way neurotransmitters are transported from the origin to the cell, to the target cell, and then you choose to study one modality of transport. For example, exosomes are one of the new modalities discovered, and almost I compare them to the champagne bubbles. They go from the origin to the target cell and induce the target cell to act according to the instruction that they receive in the exosomes, which carry proteins, neurotransmitters, various molecules.
So what's the incentive for a doctor to want to do academic research? Because to do private research, the incentive is you can supplement the private practice income with clinical research income.
Right.
But what's the incentive for academic research for a physician?
For a physician, if you want to do academic research, it's only your interest. You don't make that much money as in private research, as in clinical trials, but
not even close.
Not even close. Yeah. But you can do what you want. You can pursue an avenue that you want to do, and
But why do they want to do that? Just purely out of interest, or they want the publishing rights, or
well, both. You know,
Yeah.
interest is the main one, because if you don't like it, you are not going to do it right.
Yeah.
You have to like it, and then also publishing.
would you ever go back to doing private research, or you're good with?
No, I'm perfectly fine with the academic research at this time.
And I think it's a lot of doctors out there can consider both, because sometimes they're only thinking research is the same thing, but it's a very distinct difference between private research and academic research.
Right, it's different. Well, there are some points where they can you know, touch each other, but it's very different.
Yeah.
In the private research, private research is usually sponsored by the company, and they give you the protocol. So in other words, you just do what they want you to do.
Yeah.
So you have to prove what they want. But in academic research, you can pursue your own ideas.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got into private research, because that created an entire career for me that I never thought possible, and probably you didn't think possible
I
either.
never thought it would happen that way.
Yeah, so I'm glad you did. Thank you for that. Love you, Dad. And finally,
Love
is
you,
gonna
man.
do way more videos with you now with Alzheimer's.
Okay.
Okay, because we have this thing called Alzheimer's Talk. We've had Kellogg on, we've had Dr. Alba on, all these Alzheimer's experts. So you'll be coming up soon.
I remember when Dr. Alba started into Alzheimer's.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now you are, and with the exosome stuff, which people are going to see later, now that you're going to be involved with that, they're going to see more of you on the videos. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.